Well, hello, 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 hello. I'm going to assume that this is going out live. I'm going to do a short video of this. I want to see if these pictures will show up. And, hmm, I'm trying something new. I've got pictures that I took of orbs. And this is the screen I'm sharing right here. And I went to a favorite place that I've been going to for quite some time. I mean, like for 20 years kind of deal or more. And this 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 here is a boat ramp, and there's nothing down here. Okay, this is the river. There's nothing down here. There's no one down there. We're here by ourselves, and there's a dot, and a dot, and an orb. Actually, looks like two. One there, one, two there. Really good one there. There's one up here in the corner. And if you kind of look in here, there's some coming down this hill. There's one right in there. Now, I've been here before. And so, um, let me see if I can get the next picture. And let's see if this shares. I've got a really slow computer, so this is looking in the same direction. Let me see if that's what is sharing. Oh, it looks like it. So I'm looking up this hill, and it's a good sized hill from where you're standing down here. This down here, right in there, is where the to keep the bank from washing out, they put in a barricade, a wall to keep the dirt there. So let's see. I'm still practicing, and we're going to go to my next picture. I've got a really slow little computer here, so you have to just please forgive me with that. Now, this is the side wall, and then across here, and then it goes back up the bank on the other side. It's really nice and wide in here, several vehicles, but this is the boat ramp, and this is the Flint River. And it's about 10 o'clock at night, about. Now, this up here is whatever planet that is going off down in the sunset. Now, but these little splotches here, these are the spirit orbs that have been down here at this location. There's one there and there, two there. There's one there. It looks like another one there. There's several down here. There's one right there. And there's something right there that's even brighter. Now, there's that. I know that that's not a planet because there are trees right here along the bank, and there's no way. So whatever that is, well, it's an orb in my opinion because of I've been there before and what it looks like. Now this is that retaining wall, and you can see there's an orb here, up here, up here, right there, right there, right there. These are coming down the hill, okay? And there's there, back here, right there, right there, right there. All right, next picture. Now this is the same area, and what I do, it takes a couple of seconds for the camera to recharge, and so I'm looking further down. I walked a few feet further down. I'm closer to the water, and this is back up the hill. And so these two objects here are not lights. There's no one there. This is the river out here. Right here in this distance, you can see part of the retaining wall. And then up here, as I pointed it up, you can see a couple of spots there. That one, both of these, it was too cloudy to pick up any stars. And in previous picture over here to the right, that was a planet, but that's I checked, and that was the only planet that I could pick up with the camera with the settings that I was using at the time. Now, let's see. There is one orb here and a couple faintly down here. Now, I took these in a succession, and I'm showing them to you in succession because sometimes they will allow you to take a picture and sometimes not. And so I had said prayers when I got there and had made my peace with these beings, as I have in the past, but still some of them don't wish you to have anything to do with them. Now there's an orb up here, I notice. There's one here, and there's kind of sort of one hanging out here in the grass. All right. That's looking up the same hill. And you say, well, why do you take the picture of the same one? But because I want to show that these things are moving around, but they're not bugs. They're just not bugs. These are not bugs. So as I was sort of calling them in, okay? And because I've been there before. Now, I'm looking, the pictures I just took, I turned around 180 degrees. This is the other side of the boat ramp, this being concrete, grass along in here with some concrete, and then a retaining wall over here to keep that side of the bank from falling down. So when I turned around and took this picture, these are the orbs that were coming down the hill behind me. Okay? Look how many of them there are. All right, there's the one there. Okay, so continue on. Now I have still turned to my, well, looking at the river, I turned to my right, and these are the beings that were there. Okay, that's a very bright one. And I thought it might have been a firefly, but the fireflies were like way up on the hill, and because I was standing there in the pitch black, and none of them came out. Let's see. I was curious. It says I'm still doing my thing. So there's an orb there, and there are some back here in the background. All right. On my screen, it looks pretty good. Go back and whoops, I got to go to here. So then the next picture, let it load. I'm turning back to my left, and these are one there, 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 up here, and up here. And you can make out a few, kind of sort of look like one right in there. But there's enough in this view, you know, from turning to my left to prove that they were moving around. Now, this is the river again. So the picture I just took was the bank on the right-hand side looking at the river. Now I'm looking at the embankment part on the left-hand side. This is an orb, not a planet, because down here you can't see it, but there are trees all along down here, right along the edge of the river. And this is on that orb that you see right there is on this side of the tree. And coming up the hill here, there are several. There's one in here. There's not too many. And that's sort of I wanted to show, because now that's just looking down at the river. That's how pitch black it is out there. Nothing there. All right. There's a red thing right there, and I checked to see if there's anything around, and And because I want to make sure if there's something in the foreground or something that it will repeat itself. Problem is that I've took other pictures and there was nothing red down here. So I'm like, all right, so what was the red thing? All right, well, there you can see an orb, and what looks like one right in here, right in there. Okay, not too many. That's my point of showing you this. All right, now there's a retaining wall back down here, and there's clear orb, and there's one right up here. All right, and there's a red one right back there. There's a little dot right there. See, that red dot wasn't there before, and in fact, it was down on the pavement. So, just as a reference, I just had a thought. I think I know what the red dot is. Actually, we'll see. Hello? My computer's thinking about it. I guess I'm still live. All right, that's looking right back up the same hill. And there's not much there. And that's the point I want to show you. Now I turn back around, and you can see these things have appeared behind me. There's the red one. Nope, that's not what okay, never mind. I was thinking the red dot was coming from my camera, but I don't know, because it should be pointing in the middle of the center of my view of shot, not down here on the ground. But this one was really moving, and I caught it as it went by. Now this is looking, I turned around real quick, and I caught a couple others. There's one there, there's one up here, and there's a couple back here in the background. There's one right there. All right, coming down. Now there's my red dot again. See, but I'm pointing the camera right in here. There shouldn't be a red dot right there. I have nothing on me that would make a red dot there. Nothing that was reflecting. But you can see up here is an orb. There's an orb back here in the back, and a couple here on the side. Now, they came down the hill to visit me. Whoops, all together now. So those are obvious orbs, and that right there is a really bright one. That's a really bright one there. And most of these, well, I'm just going to sit there and let you look at how many of them. Now, I don't want to move my mouse around because from my point of view, it messes up my screen. But I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at the top 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and I'm not even getting the dull ones. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. There are at least 50. No, there's more like 70 orbs in that picture right there. 70 orbs in that one picture. At least 70 orbs in that picture. At least. And so, this is behind me. The river is down here to the left on this picture. And so this is the bank going up. And see, there's that red dot again. But there are other red dots too. But I didn't notice that. But there's another kind of, wow, a streak. Is that on my screen? Nope, that's on the picture. Where did that? There's a, whoa. I didn't notice that. There's some kind of a, wow, wispy thing there. I'm on a small monitor, and so there are a lot of things that I could probably see otherwise, but there's a cloud right there that I didn't notice before. And that's got to be really close in, because if that's about, I don't know, 40, 50 feet away where that wall is right there. So in order for the camera, the flash, to reflect off of something like that right there, that had to be really close. I mean, like over my head kind of close, because that's why these are so bright. These things are, from where I'm standing to the edge of this grass and the concrete right there, maybe 10 feet, maybe 10 feet, 10 feet. Yeah, 10 feet to where I'm standing to the edge right here, and about 15 feet to the water's edge down here on my left. And in this picture, I can count an easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoop, wrong one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's one hiding back there. 17, 18. And not sure, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. See, there's at least 50 in this picture, okay? 50 orbs. All right. Now, there are orbs in this one, but I pointed up to the sky. And so, but I'm pointing in the middle of nowhere, and there's that red dot. You know, and there's an orb there. There's an orb up here. So they're moving around, and I'm just moving the camera around, basically standing facing the river mostly. So I had turned slightly to my left on the last picture and pointed up. Now, it's only been maybe 3 minutes since I took that one with all them orbs in it. And now see, they've moved out of frame. There's one right here on the edge. There's a couple back here in the background. There's 1, 2 up here at the top. Okay, so in just a couple of minutes, so these orbs are moving around. So they're basically swirling around, okay? Now, there's the red dot down there. I'm going to have to check that out. But it shouldn't be from my camera. It shouldn't, because there's nothing, you know, it's not focusing on anything. But there's 1 or 2 orbs in this picture, and the river is down here on the left, and that's the end of that embankment brace thing. Now I'm facing straight at the river, kind of sort of see the water, and where we were looking was up here to my right. So I'm just taking a picture straight on at the river, flat black, nothing there. Wait a minute. Holy cow. There's that cloud or something right there. Wow. Yeah, that's not on my screen. I'm wiping my screen as I'm doing this, and that is not on my screen right there. Okay. A little ghostly cloud showing up there. Wow. And in more than one frame. I've seen a lot of things down here over the years, and this is the water down here. That's a lot darker because it's not reflecting the pavement, but just a couple of orbs. And I'm just doing this more as a reference. Now, this is the car we came in, and it would be of course, to my left facing. There's that red dot again. I'm wondering if that's my camera. I ain't going to say, because it's showing up. But these other things are not my camera, all right? There's a faint over here, but I'm a good ways from this bank. I'm 20 feet away from this bank now, and with my back to the other one. All right, so I've turned around again, um, to kind of surprise them. And there are several up here that I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4. That's a really bright one. Those are not fireflies. I I tried to look for them. They're not fireflies. Whatever those are, though, they're really bright energies. Now, there's that little red dot. Is that from my camera? I don't know. But these other things, these are orbs. They are not from the camera. Okay. Now, I'm assuming. Let me check here. Says I'm still live. Okay, this particular picture is uphill. Down here is where I was standing taking pictures up the hill. Down here on the edge of this frame here is the boards to hold up the embankment. I can't think of the word. Forgive me. So, but anyway, that's down the hill there. So, and I've sat here a lot of times and taken pictures. And out here on the edge, you can just barely tell that they're coming up the hill. All right, I got to go back to my other frame thing. Okay, and switch pictures. All right, so, but those are orbs right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. They're coming up the hill. And it's a steep hill, too. Now I turned around. This is the car, and sitting under, there's a couple of big, huge oak trees right here on the edge of the river. And I know that these things like to hide in the trees. So up here, there's some orbs up here. A couple of them hiding back here in the background. Looks like 2 right there. Now, I should see a red dot in this picture if it were my camera. I don't see a red dot, by the way. Now, the car, I'm standing right next to the car, so the car is on the left of me. And this is a turnaround that goes back around here. And out here is the river. And there are trees out here that are between this steep bank right here and the river. And so these here are a couple of orbs. Make sure that's not my screen. Oh, that was my screen. Oops, but those aren't. Okay. Now, so while I took the, let's see, this picture is looking over the top of the car, which would be to my left. Now I'm facing forward, okay? So I'm just turning to my right. This picture is to my right, okay? And down here is where I was standing before at the bottom of the boat ramp by the river. So these are the entities I took while at the river's edge up the hill, okay? And you can tell this one's really close up here in the top left. And some of the blue sphere beings are coming out. Not as many of the blue. All right. Now, these are the trees I was talking about between me and the river. This is an old pad for a picnic table. And you can see how fast this thing drops off. And then back here, you can see the remnants of the edges of a tree. And that's what I was talking about when I was taking pictures. Whatever it was that I was looking at had to have been between the tree and me and the tree, not me and the river, because that tree and all these other ones are in the way. So you can, there looks like a light down here. That's down on the river. There's nothing on the river. It was pitch black, could not see. So these things that you see coming up the hill like that, down here is where I was standing, taking the picture up the hill. Now that is a being in the tree, and you can tell the different colors. Blue, there's a couple of blue beings in there, very bright white ones. I don't remember seeing that many bright white ones before. Now I'm having issues with the camera because my battery was low, but I'm looking down this thing. This is a good ways down here to the water now, and you could tell in the previous picture over here to the left that it drops off real quick. So this is out here in space, and there's nothing out there. There are no homes. It's pitch black where this location is. So you can easily see, now there's a red one. Now that's a little reddish right there, but is that my camera? Again, it should be out here somewhere. But all these other dots and things, these are not bugs. They are orbs, and I have taken many pictures of them before. Now, this back here, it almost looks like it's in the forefront, but these are the trees down the hill. These are the tops of the trees that are down this hill with the river back here. So all of these things are in the foreground, okay? And you can see there's quite a few. They're mingling around, you know. Back to the tree. Where this tree is, it really drops off quickly. But see, now there's a little red dot down, sort of reddish dot down here. I don't see a red dot where my camera should be, but you can see up here, back up in here. They're faint, but it's like they move back down the hill towards the water. All right, now I just moved to my left a little bit. That big tree in the previous frame is just right here on the right side of this frame. So I'm still looking down this hill, and they started coming back up. Now there's one right in there that's kind of faint, but you can clearly see these beautiful sapphire ones. I don't know. There's just something about those the sapphire ones that are so cool to me. And whatever was so bright down here, I guarantee you there's nothing down there. There were no people, no lights. Even when the lightning bugs did shine, they weren't that bright. Not as bright as that is right there. There is no reflection. That is, I was standing down here on the edge of the water. That would be in the water, and there was nothing there. But you can see in the foreground a couple of these other orbs. And that's the pictures of the orbs. So, but I have been to this location before many times, and they're on a different computer, those pictures. But what it shows is that these beings, especially when I'm kind to them and speak to them, I have them, they're all around my head. And I have pictures of them like just almost sitting on me kind of thing. They probably were sitting on me. I'm just backing through the pictures. I'm going to have to name these things, and I want to put them up. But there are a couple of them. These pink ones are really cool. But there's in that blue there. Now, see, there's that tree. And I was taking pictures as I was walking up to this edge. And you can tell that it drops off big time. So all of these sphere beings are 20 foot off the ground. You know, there's nothing there that could be reflecting. And so this is the river off of the edge of this curve right here. And again, this is a different tree over here to the left. It's a beautiful little spot. It really is. And me and my friend have been going there for years. In fact, she's the one that said, "You should take a picture over there." And I set my flash up, and that's when I knew that these beings were here. Now I'm down this I'm backing up, so but right now I'm back down on the bottom down here. So where we just left in this picture, I'm standing way down over here. Look, looking in the opposite direction from this bank here in this picture, because where the water is and the concrete goes uphill this way, that is on my right hand side. But you can clearly see these sphere beings in the darkness. Now where that one picture is, this is up that hill, and you can kind of tell how from the height of the car, how much higher. I mean, that's a 5 foot to the top of the car. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20. It's an easy 20 foot up to the top up there to where I was standing on the previous shot. Now this is looking at the river again. Like I said, I'm backing up with the pictures just to go back through. But see, that's looking at the river. And so the high bank that I was standing on was way up here looking back down into this area. And you can tell there was nobody there that night. No cars, no boats, no nothing. And you can see how pitch black it is back there. And so when I took a picture from up the hill, now this is on my right hand side. Now it's difficult to get up here. You can't drive up here. But anyway. So that's still on my right hand side, but you can tell as I'm backing in, you can see that there are orbs in this picture. This was looking straight out over the river, just as a shot. Now that's again on the right hand side. These are all these beings that came in. I'm backing around. See, these are still on the right hand side. Now, if I were looking at this, the hill I was standing on would be behind me and up the hill. Okay, it would be over my left shoulder. Now, this is trying to look up that hill where I was standing. This is that berm, and I was standing up here on the top of this bank on the rise. So now I'm looking back to my left-hand side, and you can see these sphere beings. And so you can't see the top of this rise, but this is only about I don't know, maybe about a third of the way up. So where I was standing taking the pictures down is way up here. Now that's on my right-hand side. Boy, I tell you, whatever that bright flashy thing is, now that's looking up the hill again. But it's a long way up that hill. That's the bermed earth that's looking up the hill where I was standing, way up here on the top. This shows a little bit better from, I mean, this is about 5 feet in height. If you're standing right here, this comes up to about my chest. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. It's an easy 25 feet from standing down here to the top of this, the edge of the bank on this bluff right there. Easy 25 feet, if not a lot more. And that's looking straight at the river down the concrete. So it goes uphill right over here. Then over here on the edge, it goes uphill over here. And again, the water is on my right-hand side, so I'm looking up that hill again to the left. And you can tell it's a good ways up there. More of them. Now that's looking up to the right, and these little whatever that one is, this sure was a flashy object. I guarantee. But Yep, this is what I filmed just the other day. That's up, looking up the hill there. Still looking up the hill. Yep, yep. Now, when I say looking up the hill, let's see. I can't. Was trying to get to the top. All right. So this is what I meant. Standing up here, way down here. This is the 25, 30-foot mark right here. So as soon as you start over this edge, you better hang on or you're going to slide. But so there's nothing out here. It's pitch black. And so let's see. I don't know. Am I back? All right. So those are my recent pictures that I wanted to see if I'm going to upload. So I'm going to quit this and I'm going to check it out. But those are real live orbs swimming around down there on the edge of the river. And there's a story about that there was in the olden Indian days, where that boat ramp was actually a ferry ramp. So in order to get back and forth across the river, because where that location is on the Flint River, it's, I don't know, 25 miles upstream to the nearest bridge and 20, 30 miles or 35 miles south to another bridge. So there's nowhere to cross the Flint. I mean, it's like a 50-mile difference between where this bridge is on the north end and where this bridge is on the south. So here you are, that somewhere in the middle. But in the olden days, people couldn't go that far to find a bridge. So they used things like ferry boats and things back in them days. And so, but there was a really bad skirmish, fight, wipeout. Native Americans were killed, regular settlers were killed, army was killed. And those orb beings that you see that are there at that location are those beings. So I'll be back with more. I hope we'll see you later. This is Hawkeye Two Feathers saying adios. Have a great evening and love you all.